a 10x Summon Rush event is part of the ongoing Morrigaine Fusion calendar right there on the 4th, coming up on Friday. And in this video, I wanted to break down some of the champions that have been released that you can pull from that 10x event. So if you're kind of still going for this Morrigaine Fusion, you probably really want to complete the Summon Rush with just enough shards that you have. But if you're going for the epic, this is one to skip entirely. You don't need to do pull shards on this 10x event for a Summon Rush to complete those epics. So another disclaimer that I'll give before going into this video and hyping up this champion is that 10x events are usually a scam. Yes, I'll keep saying it in every 10x video until it is changed, because you might pull shards, sacred shards, mystery shards, get legendary champions, and none of them will be part of this 10x that is advertised, because the pool is still diluted and we have so many champions that even with a 10x chance of getting that champion, you pull 4 legendaries and you don't get a champion. So that's a disclaimer right there. 10x does not mean you will definitely get the champion that is advertised until something is done about it to make it a 20x or 30x. All right, what am I talking about? The 10x event that is coming up will feature some legendaries and some game-changing epics for newer players who are coming into raid for the first time. If you're pulling shards for this event, you can use your mystery shards most likely to complete it. If you have a lot of it saved, you can use your saved fragments. So the only way is to actually use your shards. I'm talking about ancient shards, void shards, and sacred shards. It will be about 2,500 points thereabout. Maybe that will require you to pull 4 to 5 sacred shards or the equivalent of that in your ancient and void shards. So hopefully you have enough saved up to complete it. If you do not, you have the entire weekend to do it, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you do have enough chance to get the points required to complete that Morrigaine Fusion Summon Rush. Now let's get into the champion. The first one, the biggest one in the list, in my opinion, is Hegemon. Hegemon is part of this 10x event that is launching tomorrow on Friday. And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, at the end of the video, I'll tell you whether I'm pulling for these shards or not. Whether I've saved up many different ways to go about it without actually pulling my shard. I'll reveal that, my plan of completing the Summon Rush. So the first one, Hegemon, is part of the Night Rev faction and is one of the most sought after champion for PvP players who are pushing, the arena or 3v3 arena, 1v1 arena, people who are actually pushing it at highest tier level. This is Hegemon. Everybody wants him in their roster. Why is this champion so special? He has a passive that allows him go first in every battle. He's the best champion in raid for that. There is no other champion in raid that can do this. He's kind of unique for this ability right there. So what does it mean to go first in every battle? It means that it means that he will always go first. That's just what it means. Whether it's 1, 2 Hegemons that are on the team, even if the enemy has their own Hegemon, the one with the highest speed will go first. So that's all you should know about this Hegemon. And I've seen Hegemons being built in damage. That means if they go first, they might take somebody down, or they can lock out your skill. He goes first with the A1, right? No. What skill does he use when he goes first? This one, the A2. He attacks all enemies, places 50% decrease attack, block active skills, debuff for 2 turns. So he has a 50% chance of placing block active skills on your enemies for 2 turns. So that's why everybody wants him, so they can just go in there and lock out the enemies. So that's Hegemon. One champion that I don't own is a void affinity champion. That means you need to pull void shards on Friday if you want to get this champion. I'm not going for this one. Hegemon, I'm not that crazy about the arena in the highest tier platinum, so I'm not pushing hard for it until one day maybe I get competitive enough to get it. Now the next champion on this 10x one is one that I currently own, that I'm proud of, and I did a guide about recently, just yesterday. So hopefully you guys check that out, and he's going to be part of this 10x. He's from the Undead faction and his name is Necrit the Great. Yes, it seems like I knew he was going to be part of a 10x, so I finally dusted mine off and built him up, and now he's part of my arena team. Still trying to understand what teams best to use with him, but this champion is best known for protecting one ally. Full protection. I'm talking about this passive right there that places block, debuff, buff, strengthen, and ally protection right there on one of your allies at the start of the turn. Like once the battle starts, he does this. It's a passive, so before the enemies can even take a turn or do anything, one champion has been protected fully. I also enjoyed this skill right there that goes in. Anybody that he protects can join this battle right here with this, that has ally protection, and it can take somebody down, especially because I use him with Kandarfon A1, which does take somebody down, and it can protect more people with this A3 also. So that's the passive. The other second passive places a big shield. So this champion max HP. So I'll pin my guide right there for Necrit if you've not seen that. So check that video out. And a lot of people do not own this champion because, again, he is a void affinity champion, and it's kind of hard to get in raid, especially like Hegemon. It's also difficult to get a champion like this. Good protector for your team that will ensure that your damage dealer takes a turn. I'm currently enjoying this champion, so if you're going to be pulling shards, void shards, hopefully you get Necrit. Which, good luck. The next one on the list, I'm not that crazy about, but everybody seems to be talking about this dude right now. Hefrak. He's from the Demon Spawn faction. Maybe I'm not crazy about him because I don't know much about him, but the few experience I've come across this champion in the arena, he has been annoying. I go first, I nuke the enemy team, and then for some reason he takes a turn. It's not even his turn. I'm like, what are you doing? It's not even your turn. And then he nukes really, really hard. He says whenever an ally is killed, instantly activates this skill. That's why it happens. So if I kill somebody else in the team, he instantly gets a turn. If there are multiple champions on the team with the same skill, only one will activate. So now I understand why he always takes a turn. So I'm like, I went first with my speed habitat team and all that, and then I take down the entire enemy. So what happens, most people usually build him in this set that makes him go unkillable, right? So that's why he kind of survives my hits and then gets a turn when it's not even his turn. So that's what he's known for. He does nuke hard, just like Leorius or something. He nukes really, really hard. So I'll give him up for that one, that he's what it's going for. But I have enough nukers on my team. I don't think he comes with something unique though. So that's something I thought is special about him. All right, Hefrak will be part of the 10x on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So pull your shards if you want him. The next champion that is part of this 10x is Xavier, one of my first legendary champions I own, and she's from the Dark Elves faction, yes. And this champion was the champion that made dungeons open up for me, because I come in there, place poisons, and she goes in with her A3 and explodes the poisons right there. So damage, deals damage from all poisons, right, on the target instantly. The poison debuffs will only deal half of the damage when the skill is against bosses. But this damage right there, when these enemies are killed by this skill, they cannot be revived. I wonder why this champion is not used a lot in the arena, because any skill that says AoE like that and cannot be revived usually is a good thing. But the point is that she relies on poison to make that big hits. But I've seen some people nuke with a Xavier with 4k to 5k attacks, crit damage alone. Without poison, she can still come in there with this A3 and do big nukes. So this skill doesn't only rely on poison, although poison does make it do those large numbers you see in the PvE content along with the waves. But I'm trying to move away from Xavier right now and move over to I think it's Eleanor. That's the champion I'm trying to move towards, because I think she does it better for dungeon content. But if you're coming into the raid, when I got her first, she served the purpose of using this A1 right there to place poisons on the clan boss. Yes, I used this champion in live steal in the clan boss for a very long time before I took her out and got an unkillable team. She was a poisoner for my clan boss. Not just a poisoner, she also, well, she doesn't use this skill for the clan boss, but she just there placing these poisons on and on and on. I really like this champion and I still enjoy her a lot. All right, she does have a synergy with Bellanor, but we're not going to talk about that. It's not important. The next champion that is part of this 10x is Theodore the Servant. This champion is currently hyped right now in raid as one of the best solo champions. I do not have or own this champion, so I don't know whether it's true or not. One day I'll find out, but there's a lot of videos and hype around this champion soloing content that is, you know, one of the fastest champions that can do it, I guess, according to what people are saying. Poisons, increasing duration of poisons, weaken HP, a lot of debuffs are coming from this champion. You can see all his body is fuming with poisons also. So he's a new champion that joined the Night Red faction and it's totally worth going for. Poison sensitivity is also right there, decreased speed is also right. This champion comes into the battle with a lot of debuffs. That's what I noticed. So one day I'll own it and find out if he's worth all the hype that has been made about him or not. Theodore the Servant is part of this 10x and it's totally worth going for. Some people might even rate him higher than Necrit and Hegemon, but for PvP players they will always rate Necrit and Hegemon at those top ranges. But I think it's what's his name, Theodore the Servant. I've not seen him being used in PvP so far, only dungeon content. All right, the next champion now to the epics category that are part of this 10x for those players who might just be pulling sacred shards and hope to get one of these epics. The first one I'll let you know is Madame Series. Yes, Madame Series is one of the best epic champions because of that her buff strips that she comes in to the Dark Elves faction with. And it's one champion that eluded my radar for a long time, over 2 years of playing raid, and I finally got her last month. I think it's last month or 2 months ago, and now I'm getting duplicates of her everywhere whenever I pull void shards. You don't seem to get any of them, but once you get one, they just keep dropping. So I've done a champion guide about Madame Series also. I'll pin it, card it right there if you want to check it out when you finally get this champion. Madame Series is best known for this skill right here that removes all buffs from the enemies and replaces that with a decreased attack and decreased defense. So just like your Stag Knight, just like your Terrell or your Duke de Pierce, but she does it better because she actually removes buffs that the enemies has on them before she places her own decreased defense and decreased attack. A champion that is best known for PvP content, but she's not very popular in PvE because she has this skill on a 4-turn cooldown. That's why a lot of people prefer other players or other champions who have it on a 3-turn cooldown for PvE content, for dungeon content. So she is not very used in dungeons, but if she's all you have, use her everywhere. But if you have better champions like Terrell who do it on a 3-turn cooldown for PvE, use them in there. She is just best known for PvP arena content. All right, the next champion that is part of this 10x in the epics category is Husk, and he belongs to the undead faction. One champion that I've finally taken to 50, hoping to take him to 60 soon to be part of my Hydra team. Yes, that's where Husk is best known for right now in raid content, PvE content. Whether it's Doom Tower, whether it's against dungeon waves, Hydra, he comes in there with a big nuke, just like Royal Guard. So attacks one enemy, damage increases according to this champion's current HP. This is the AoE skill right there that makes a big nuke. Attacks all enemies, 35% chance of placing stun debuff for 1 turn. Damage inflicted is proportional to this enemy's max HP. You know, just like Royal Guard, enemy max HP hit is really good against the Hydra. So that's why I'm hoping to build this champion and use him in one of my teams. Currently, I have only Ninja doing my job, and then maybe Geomancer in my second Hydra team. I'm looking to add in Husk or Terrell based on, Husk or, it's not Terrell, what's his name now? Royal Guard in my Hydra team as the third team, so I can actually have that team doing work too, to add an extra key. To move on to Hydra, Brutal, and Nightmare maybe in the future. So he is going to join my team soon, so expect my champion guide about him when I finally get him working for me. HP based champion, right? Yes. Increase all ally. I've not seen him being used in arena, but he does have the arena aura right there. So on the A1, what does he have? A provoke on the A1. I guess this is also something you can use on the Hydra. A low chance to land, but booked up to a 20%, 40% chance to land it when you book him up. Still not, just like a backup provoke for that Hydra head, I guess. So yes, he's very good for that content. You might want to build even 2 of him. Yes, he's worth building 2 at least for the Hydra, so you can get all the rewards that is promised there. That's Husk. It's part of the 10x, and the last one that is part of this 10x is one of the best champions, the best early game champions, at least. For the end game, people don't use her anymore, but her name is Allure, and she belongs to the Demon Spawn faction. She's an epic champion that once you get her, automatically Fire Knight is done. Fire Knight is easy. Automatically Doom Tower, what's his name now? The Scarab boss is done and easy. She has this turn meter control that has not been matched in raid. Nobody else can do this. Basically, when this champion comes into the battle, you want to turn off all her skills, A2, A3, turn everything off and use only the A1. That's what she's best known for right there. But remember, you have to have her crit, decreases the target's turn meter by 25% on each crit, so you have to have this champion at 100% crit. And then of course, if it's a negative affinity, she might not crit most of the time. So Alo is still in my Fire Knight teams. She's still in my end game content teams for the Doom Tower. And then even against the Dark Face, she's awesome right there. I use her right there. And yeah, she's an awesome champion. Triple hit on that A1. Make sure that the shield of the Fire Knight stays down forever. So once you get one, I even built 2 of this champion for Doom Tower content. All right. That's the champions that are advertised as part of this 10x that is coming up on Friday. The best one out of this list, can you rate them? Is it Necrit? Is it Hegemon? Is it Hefrak? Those are the 3. Or is it Theodore the Servant? Which of these legendaries stand out to you the most? Which one do you think endgame players who are big spenders in the game will go crazy for? And I will be pulling my shots on Friday as part of this 10x, just enough to get these points, right, for the rare champion. I'm hoping it's 2,500 points. I'm hoping, because I've saved 600 mystery shards right there. So I'm hoping with 1 or 2 secrets, maybe. I don't want to touch my void shard, because remember, don't pull your void first. Keep your void, because next week, after this weekend, next week is 2x void. Yes. So you want to keep your void shards for that 2x void that is coming, because after secrets is void shards, right? So I want to be pulling my secrets instead. I might pull 3 secrets and then mystery shards to complete this event. And then, yeah, that's how I intend to go about it to complete it. That's my plan tomorrow. So watch out for that, my shard pool video tomorrow, to see which of these awesome legendary champions I might get. Out of all of them that I called out, I own Xavier and I own Necrit. I do not own any of the other ones I called out in the legendary categories. As for the epics, I have all of them. I'm not looking forward to any of them. As for the noob to pro, will we be pulling shards on the noob to pro? No. Remember, that noob to pro is not going for this fusion. We only got the epic. We're just looking for one more rare from artifact enhancement, or from this thing, the 1v1 arena tournament, to get one more rare, and we are done. So I will not be pulling my shots tomorrow on the noob to pro for this event. So again, let me know in the comments below which of these champions you will be going for, if you're still going for Morrigaine fusion. If you're skipping out on Morrigaine fusion, I repeat, do not pull your shots for 10x. It's the worst time to pull your shots in raid. I just wanted to hype these champions up a little bit, because they are totally worth it. They are game changing. But the reality is that we might pull all our shards, 3, 4, 5 secret shards, get 1 legendary, and it will not be part of this 10x champion. Let's just face the truth and keep saying it until it is finally changed in raid. 30x is what we want, or we will riot. Hit that like button in this video for me right now. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you've not done so already. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for that shard pool video. Later, guys.